Welcome to Real Legends, where the past meets the present and cinema's finest take the spotlight. I'm Michael, your host, and joining me today are two amazing film buffs. Emily, a screenwriter and professor of film studies, and Jake, a cinematographer with over a decade in the industry. Welcome both.
Michael, I'm so excited. These films shaped not just Hollywood, but storytelling worldwide.
Absolutely. I've got goosebumps already. Let's dive to the legends.
Let's start with the classic of classics, The Godfather. Emily, what makes this movie immortal?
It's the Shakespearean tragedy wrapped in a mafia story. Coppola crafted a layered tale about power, family, and corruption, and Brando's performance. Iconic.
And those shots. Gordon Willis was a genius. The lighting, the shadows, he gave the Corleone world a haunting dignity.
That opening line, "I believe in America," it sets the tone.
And Michael Corleone's transformation, from reluctant outsider to ruthless boss, is one of cinema's greatest character arcs.
The baptism scene, cutting between the ceremony and the assassinations, is pure filmmaking mastery.
Not to mention the music. Nino Rota's score is unforgettable.
Every frame feels like a painting.
And how about that line? I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Classic.
The film's moral ambiguity keeps it relevant.
It wasn't just a gangster movie. It was a mirror to American ambition.
And family, you feel the burden of legacy.
Women in the film like Kay represent the moral compass, but they're also silenced.
Part I arguably tops it, but the original laid the groundwork.
It's more than a film, it's a cornerstone of modern cinema.
Without The Godfather, so many films wouldn't exist today.
Moving on, let's visit Casablanca. Emily, your thoughts?
Timeless romance, Bogart and Bergman's chemistry, electric.
Here's looking at you, kid. Enough said.
It's wartime, it's love, it's sacrifice.
Ilsa choosing duty over desire, it hits you every time.
And Rick's arc. From cynical to selfless, that's great writing.
The dialogue is still quoted today.
And the piano as a storytelling device.
Max Steiner's score just pulls you in.
The film's moral complexity was bold for its time.
And shot during Dolu adds urgency to the message.
It's a masterclass in economy, so much in so little time.
Every character matters. Ugart, Renault, even the minor ones are memorable.
It's patriotic without being preachy.
And that foggy airstrip goodbye cinema magic.
Casablanca is emotion bottled perfectly.
It reminds us love often means letting go.
And standing for something bigger.
Next up is Spielberg's Schindler's List.
A devastating, necessary masterpiece. It forces you to feel.
The black and white format grounds it in grim reality.
And the girl in the red coat. That one choice shook the world.
Liam Neeson's restrained performance is incredible.
And Ralph Fiennes as Goeth, terrifying yet human.
Spielberg handled it with such care.
It educates without preaching.
The handheld camera work makes it immersive.
And John Williams' haunting score.
The end, when survivors and actors place stones, it's unforgettable.
It proves film can be a force for remembrance.
It's emotionally exhausting but vital.
A film every generation must watch.
It set the standard for historical cinema.
Spielberg gave voice to the voiceless.
And ensured we never forget. Let's talk about a film often hailed as the greatest of all time. Citizen Kane.
Orson Welles redefined storytelling. The nonlinear narrative was revolutionary.
Greg Toland's deep focus cinematography, just wow.
Rosebud, a mystery, a metaphor, a tragedy.
It's about the cost of ambition, the emptiness of wealth.
The sets were massive and symbolic. Kane's palace is a fortress and a prison.
Wells' direction was daring. He was only 25.
The use of light and shadow foreshadowed film noir.
And that montage of Kane's failing marriage, heartbreaking.
The newsreel intro gives it documentary flair.
No spoon-feeding, the audience puts it together.
A film school staple, and for good reason.
It's not just Kane's story, it's America's.
What we gain and lose chasing legacy.
And the final shot, burning Rosebud. What a gut punch.
It shows how even a titan can be misunderstood.
Truly ahead of its time. Let's jump forward to the 90s. Tarantino's Pulp Fiction.
Stylish, gritty, cool. It made indie cinema mainstream.
That nonlinear structure keeps you hooked.
The dialogue fast, funny, philosophical.
Royal with cheese. Who else could make that iconic?
The soundtrack was killer. Every scene matched the music perfectly.
Meyer and Vincent's dance scene, it's burned into pop culture.
And the twist with Butch's gold watch. Unexpected brilliance.
Jules' monologue, Ezekiel 25:7, still gives chills.
It's violent, but the violence serves character, not shock.
Pulp Fiction changed how stories could be told.
It was a revival of pulp and noir, but with a modern twist.
Tarantino blurred genre lines, crime comedy thriller, all in one.
It inspired a whole generation of filmmakers.
Every indie director owes him a nod.
The Briefcase, still a mystery, still debated.
Pulp Fiction is pop culture poetry.
And somehow still fresh?
Time for a film that wasn't a box office hit initially but grew into one of the most beloved ever. The Shawshank Redemption.
Based on Stephen King's novella, it's about hope, friendship, and endurance.
Roger Deakins' cinematography is masterful. Those prison walls felt oppressive yet human.
Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman gave career-defining performances.
Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things. That line still gives me chills.
And the pacing, slow burn but immensely rewarding.
The friendship between Andy and Red is the film's heart.
And the framing, every scene feels deliberate.
That tunnel escape, iconic. The rain, the arms raised, it's freedom personified.
Redemption is in the title, but it's also in every frame.
The institutionalization theme, how prison changes a man, is haunting.
Brooks' story is so tragic yet so real.
And the narration by Freeman, it makes the story feel personal.
The ending in Ziudanijo is pure cinematic closure.
It reminds us good things come to those who wait and work.
A slow triumph that lingers in the soul.
Let's board the Titanic. A blockbuster with heart.
Cameron combined epic spectacle with intimate romance.
That ship was a floating set, built to scale. It was groundbreaking.
Jack and Rose, the classic rich girl, poor boy tale.
But told with sincerity, their chemistry worked.
And those visual effects were ahead of their time.
Celine Dion's song became an anthem.
I'll never let go, Jack, everyone remembers that line.
The final plunge of the ship, still intense to watch.
The class commentary was subtle but strong.
Rose's transformation is the real story. She finds her voice.
And the old Rose framing device ties it together?
It's a film that makes you cry and marvel at the same time.
And no matter how many times you see it, it hits.
A perfect mix of history, romance, and tragedy.
It truly was the ship of dreams and nightmares.
Now for a chamber drama that roars louder than action films. 12 Angry Men.
It's a masterclass in dialogue, tension, and persuasion.
Shot almost entirely in one room, but never feels claustrophobic.
Henry Fonda anchors the cast with quiet strength.
It's about justice, bias, and the courage to stand alone.
That lens work, slowly tightening as tension rises, is genius.
And the moral complexity, each juror has depth.
It's a reminder that democracy requires diligence.
And how easy it is to rush judgment.
The weather becomes part of the emotion, from stifling heat to cleansing rain.
And no names, just numbers. It could be anyone, anywhere.
You don't need action when you have conflict this sharp.
And that ending, it's not triumphant, it's sobering.
Every word counts in that script.
A timeless mirror to our own prejudices.
Still relevant, still powerful.
A quiet thunderstorm of a film. Let's go further back. To a technicolor epic that defined Hollywood's golden age, Gone with the Wind.
An adaptation of Margaret Mitchell's novel. A film of grandeur and controversy.
Visually stunning for its time, that burning of Atlanta scene, unforgettable.
And that opening title card. There was a land of cavaliers and cotton fields. Instantly iconic.
Scarlett O'Hara is one of the most complex female protagonists ever.
Vivian Leigh's performance was phenomenal. So much grit beneath the glamour.
Clark Gable as Rhett Butler. Charming but disillusioned.
And that final line, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, that shook the world.
Its legacy is debated, especially with its portrayal of the antebellum South.
It's essential to view it with historical context, art reflecting its era, but not excusing it.
Technically, it was a marvel. The costuming, sets, and color cinematography were groundbreaking.
It swept the Oscars, 8 competitive wins, a true juggernaut.
A cultural touchstone, both for its artistry and the conversations it sparks today.
Love it or critique it, it shaped film history, from technicolor to dark realism. The Dark Knight revolutionized superhero films.
Nolan's direction grounded Batman in gritty realism.
And Heath Ledger's Joker, what a performance.
He redefined the villain, chaotic, philosophical, terrifying.
Shot partially in IMAX, it elevated the visual experience.
And the moral dilemmas about surveillance, justice, sacrifice, so resonant.
Christian Bale's Batman was brooding and complex.
Hans Zimmer's score built relentless tension.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That line's poetry.
It challenged the genre to aim higher.
and helped push the Academy to expand Best Picture nominees.
It's not just superhero cinema, it's modern myth-making.
A dark, riveting masterpiece. Last for today but far from least. Forrest Gump.
Life is like a box of chocolates. What a line!
Tom Hanks gave a deeply human performance.
The visual effects, blending Forrest into historical footage, were seamless.
It's part drama, part comedy, part fairy tale.
Robert Zemeckis directed it with a magical realism lens.
Forrest's innocence highlights society's chaos.
Jenny's storyline brings a painful counterbalance.
And the music, so many iconic songs that mark the eras.
It's a film that makes you laugh, cry, and reflect.
A journey through American history and the human heart.
It's comfort cinema, but also layered.
And Hank's sincerity grounds every emotional beat.
Truly, a feather floating through life and landing gently in ours. What an incredible journey through Hollywood's greatest treasures. From the haunting walls of Shawshank to the windswept plantations of the Old South, from Gotham's dark alleys to the stormy decks of the Titanic, we've traveled across genres, decades, and emotions.
These films didn't just entertain. They moved us, shaped culture, and redefined what cinema could be. Each one left a unique mark on our collective imagination.
Absolutely. Whether it's the poetry of dialogue, groundbreaking visuals, unforgettable performances, or the way they mirror society, these films endure because they speak to something timeless in all of us.
And that's the magic of movies. They help us understand the world, and sometimes even ourselves. Thank you both for joining today's deep dive. It's been enlightening.
Always a pleasure, Michael.
Looking forward to the next real legend we uncover?
And to our listeners, keep watching, keep feeling, and keep talking about the stories that matter. Until next time on Real Legends, this is Michael signing off.